In this video, I will be talking about argument. Argument is a way to transfer a value from one subroutine to another subroutine. When you call a subroutine from a different program place, you can actually transfer a value with that call to the other subroutine. Depends on what you wanted, how you want that subroutine to behave. So for this example here, uh, I'm in the main. If I go in the main, for example, I want to call another subroutine called program one, and I want to move the value one, whatever that means to me. I will make more explanation and examples, but whatever this number one means to me, I want it to go to the program one and act somehow. And whenever I put two here, for example, I want the program one to behave a different way, which what I mean is the robot moves the different positions. First, if it's one, move to position one. If it's two, move to the position two. What that does to you, it's instead of we create two programs, one for position one for position two, for example, you can create one program, and depends on this number, the robot goes to that position. So let's do some examples, and we'll explain it better to you. So right now, for example, I have here this robot that it's right here. I want if I want it, I want it to go this to the counterclockwise. If it's one, I want it to go clockwise if it's two, for example. And instead of I make a program for the robot to go to the counterclockwise, and I call counterclockwise program whenever I want the robot to go direction, and then I have to make another program and call clockwise program whenever I want the robot to go clockwise, which is possible. You can that's okay, but if you don't want to see a lot of programs in your list, you can make one program, and if the value that I pass through one go counterclockwise, if two go clockwise, for example. Obviously, you can do that with registers. Like there's the argument is not taking place of register. You can move here R1 equal 1 if counterclockwise, R1 equal 2, and then when you call the program that you want to call, you in the program the same way. If R1 is 1, go counterclockwise. If R1 2, go clockwise. So you can do it with registers, obviously, always. And also you can use register inside the argument too. So we'll make some examples. But argument is another way you can use to move values. Um, so right now, right here, I have this position. Is this the robot? Let me see, just to make sure. Here's the robot. Let's run this one. I guess this is the home position. Let's run it. Okay, yeah, this is our home position. So now I want to say counterclockwise or clockwise. Let's go to program one. Here's program one. It's empty. Let's create a position. So let's move the robot counterclockwise. Let's say this one right here. And let's touch up a point. So this is our position. And then also let's take it clockwise. And we will touch up another position here. So now let me insert some between them empty spaces. Let me put 3. So now I can say here, for example, I'll use if then, this for example. If then argument is 1, then do this position, and I don't want to forget the end if. You can use, oh, I put if then. No, go back. shift, I had shift selected, delete, delete, insert, if, and the same here. Let's insert empty line now since we deleted one. Same thing here, if, oh, here we have to put it's 1. Okay. If argument equal 1, then, oh, my bad, equal, insert, equal, delete, where's equal, equal, constant, 1, enter. All right, here we go. If argument 1 equal 1, then do move to this position. Just do the same thing here. If, then, argument, let's move, argument 1 equal, constant, 2, then move to this position. Let's put the end if. All right. So if I in the main, if I have 1 here, I have option 1 or 2. If I have 1, let's go back to program 1. If I have 1, then do this position. If I have 2, then do this position. What this means, argument 1 equal 1. Argument 1, it means the first position. Let me go back to the menu, to the main. Okay. This arg1, because I have one number, this arg1. If I have here another argument, oh, no, constant. If I have here another number, like 5, for example, then this arg1 and this argument 2, you can put many of them. You can keep going. You can have argument 1 here, argument 2, argument 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can have many of them, and each one of them is this, the position, the first number is argument 1, the second position argument 2, 3, 4, as like that. So when you go back here to program 1, I can say if argument 1 equal 1, which means the first number. And if I want to put another condition, if argument 2 equal, for example, equal 2 or constant equal 5, we said 5 over there, equal 5, and do this. Here I say if argument 1 equal 2, then do this. So ignoring argument 2, just I'm looking at the first position, first number. If it's 2, then do this. Don't worry about the rest. Here I need the first number to be 1 and the second number to be 5. If I don't have argument 2, this will fall. So it will give you error. This will not run at all. It will give you the argument is not presented or something like that. So you have to have 2 argument when you want to do it like this. So now in the main one, I have 2 and 5. So let's see, let's call it, for example, let's put step. Yeah, the step is on. Let's shift forward. All right, now in home, now forward, it's called the program 1. Now let's see what's going to happen. Is it going to call this? It should not, because we have argument 1 equal 2 in the main program, and then we have number 2 is 5, that's correct, but number 1 is 2. So it should not do that. It jumped, that's right. Now, number 2, it should do it, because argument 1, and that's all I'm looking at, is 2. So it's going to run it right here, all right? Now it's going to go back. All right. So one more time. Let's change this to number 1 now. So now I have 1, 5. So let's run it. Now this if statement should go through because I do have two arguments and I have 1 equal 1 and argument 2 equal 5. Here you go. It went. Now this should not go through because argument 1 is 2, as like this. Okay, go back. So let's now delete number 5. Oh, delete. Cancel the shift. None. So now we have just one argument. So let's see what's gonna happen. Yes, I got an alarm. Parameter does not exist, even though like so you see the parameter here the alarm parameter does exist. So because I'm looking for two arguments and I did not pass the second argument, it will give me alarm. You have to have the second argument, even in, whatever it is, if you want to do this. So let's do this test. So let's reset this. Let's go back to the main uh, function board main here constant 0 enter. So now we want to run shift forward. It didn't give me alarm because I do have two arguments. Even if I have 0 value in it, as long as I have a value for the second argument, it will work. And now this one, it will not work either because my argument is 1, 0, which doesn't match any of other ones. So that's really the argument. Now here, if you want to know, for example, in my data, let me go here, like program 1. Obviously, what you can do, what I sometimes do is just to monitor the values. Let me insert 2 more lines. Here in the beginning, I do, for example, I have, okay, I have all registers empty right now. So I say R1 in insert register R1 equal argument 1, and maybe R2 equal argument 2. So now let's go to the main function import main, and let's our display make it 2. In this display, let's show the registers 1 and 2. And now here it's run this line, shift forward. Now R1 is gonna have 1, and R2 is gonna have our second number, which is 0 right now. 0. Let's and then there you go. So now let's change this, for example, to 4, and this one to 2. So now we want to run. Yes. So now argument 1 will have 2, which is register 1, and argument 2 is 4, so register 2 equal 4. We continue. Oh, let's highlight this window. Now this one should go, so it should go clockwise. And that's how you can monitor the argument value. If for some reason you want to monitor argument value, That's how you do it. And there is no way to force the argument value. Like if you are inside the program and you want to run this, there's no way like to force the argument value like the argument number value. So you're gonna have to go manually to this line and then run it, or adding a register like I did in the beginning, line 2 and 3. Now you can actually force this one to be 1, for example, and this one to be 5. You force the register itself. So now when you run, oh, what needs to be 1 and 5? Oh, here I'm using. Sorry. So I forgot to say that one just make space here. So yeah, okay. Here so when I do what I do this register for the argument, and here instead of using the argument, I use the registers. So I don't use the argument. I use the registers. Register 1 = 1, and register 2, and here register. So now I don't use argument. I use registers, and I use the same registers for all the programs. Like that way, I don't have to use many registers. I use the same register. I just change the value for each register depends on the argument I bring, and that's the nice way. If I have a big program and I don't need to use many registers, so now I just name this argument 1, argument 2, and always every in the top of every program I say R1 equal argument 1, R2 equal argument 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I do my program depends using the registers now. So my register will be like as a local variable, and the argument is my global, and in my argument I move my value to the local variable, which is the registers, and I use them that way. And now when I force my register to, like I said, the 1, because I wanted to go counterclockwise, so needs to be 1 and 5. So 1, enter, 5, enter. So now I can run this one. I can see how my program behave with this value if I want to do. So shift, forward, yes, forward. Now here you go. It did it. So that's really how I usually do it. I use registers as local variable, and I move my values through the argument to to the programs. And I do that when I have big programs. When it's simple program, couple program, like one robot, for example, and it does just few things, I might not use argument at all. Just use registers. But sometimes it's easy to use argument because you don't want to see so many registers. I hate to see like so many register used when you can use just couples and make it simple for everyone to follow your program. So this is really the argument. I think that's all about it. Nothing else. I think I've. But if there's anything else I forgot to mention, I will add it as a comment. But feel free to ask me any question about it, argument. And last thing I wanna say here, you can, when you take shift, like I told you a little bit ago, you can use the argument as register and registers as argument. So that's what I meant. When register 1 equal argument 2, for example, you can do that. Oh, 2. You can say argument register argument 1. Oh, I need to make sure this is okay. Let me change that to register, and here indirect, change that to argument. So the argument equal the register 1, for example. So that way, what I'm trying to say here, you can mix and match. So whatever value, whatever just register one value is gonna control what argument you are using here. For example, if you want to do that, you can make it stuff like that. It doesn't have to be direct. It can be indirect in direct numbers between them, and so on. That's it. Okay, thank you.